Hello and welcome to this week's lesson in Business English. For Megan's class, this is week 6 of your course, and for my class, this is week 8. And for Megan's class, this is the first time you hear my voice. Hello, my name is Brian. Konnichiwa. I'm sorry, that is all my Japanese. Now, you may hear my accent a little bit different to Megan's. Megan comes from beautiful Donegal here, whereas I am from Belfast, the capital city of Northern Ireland. And here we are in Dundalk. And even though these places are very close geographically speaking, sometimes we can speak quite differently. For example, in Belfast, you might hear Beiji. What do you think someone is saying to you if they say Beiji? Well, it comes from what about you? Beiji. Beiji. Obviously, this is informal English. In formal English, we say, how are you? But if you visit Belfast, you can practice Beiji. Talking of accents, I hope you don't have problems understanding me. But remember, on YouTube, you can go to your settings, select subtitles, and auto-generated English. That might help sometimes, although sometimes it can put up some strange interpretations of what is being said, but it can be quite helpful. Okay, so what are we looking at in this week's lesson? Two things. Firstly, we will have a quick look at internal and external communication. And secondly, the main point of this lesson, we will start preparing for meetings. There will be 2 lessons, this week's and next week's, on preparing for meetings before we record a meeting in groups. So let's look at the difference between internal and external communication. I am sure you all understand the difference between internal and external, but just in case, here is an explanation. Please press pause to read this. I will not read it to you. It's not a listening activity. This is reading. Any words you don't understand, please use a dictionary or Google Translate. Press pause while you read this. Okay? And again, press pause while you read this. This is about the differences between internal and external communication, comparing them in terms of the meaning, the form it takes, the objective of this communication, who participates in this communication, the frequency, how often it happens, and the flow. Where is this communication moving between? Please pause while you read this part. Okay, now you have an exercise. This exercise is not for your portfolio. Please think of a suitable word each time to place in each sentence. This is all concerning internal and external communication. You can press pause and write this on a piece of paper, take a photo and send it to us, or you can print this and take a photo of a printed version. All the attachments will be in Shobi, or on Shobi itself. Let me show you. You can open a document, make it bigger, Select the text box and write your answers directly on Showbie if you prefer. That's one quick way of doing the work that is not for your portfolio. All portfolio work should be emailed. Afterwards, you select Done, and Megan and I can see your work online and look at it there. Just whatever is easier for you. Megan may have other instructions for her class. Now, for the portfolio, you do complete this page, but we will not be completing this page today. As you can see, it says here, when completing this assignment, you produced the following documents and participated in a group meeting. Please tick whether this communication was internal or external. Okay, so after we have recorded the meetings, and in a few classes after that, we shall be completing different tasks, all relating to this same meeting. So further down the line, in a later class, we will look at this again, and you will consider each item, whether it was internal or external. But there is some portfolio work to be done on this in today's lesson. Please find this attachment, and you see you have a list of different types of communication. All you need to do is put them in the correct columns. This is a Word document. If you have Word, perfect. You will be able to write directly in it. I believe on a Mac, you download the document and open it with Notes, I think is the name of the program. I hope that helps. Just be careful though. Some may go into both columns. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Okay, so now we have dealt with internal and external communication. Let's get on to the main business of the day, preparing for meetings. Now, in a normal class, I would give you a nice speaking activity to get the brain cells working and thinking about meetings. Obviously, due to the current situation, we cannot do this part. But maybe you would like to think about these things. And when you are divided into your groups for the meeting task, certainly I think it would be a good idea if you talk about E. How do you know if a meeting is successful or unsuccessful? Okay? What in your head is a successful meeting? Okay? It would be a good idea that the example we record for your portfolio is an example of a successful meeting. And here are some other questions that I think it's a good idea we do look at now. What I want you to do is to press pause and think about each of these questions. After, I will give you my humble opinion of the answers, but I think it's worth doing this because there is a lot of good vocabulary related to business meetings. So press pause and have a think for each one. Okay, so I hope you had a think about all these. Let's go through them. If you abstain from voting, you don't vote. AOB, any other business. The casting vote normally is held by the most important ranking person in the room or the chairperson. If you back someone, you agree with their strategy. The chairperson says, "Shall we take the minutes of the last meeting as read?" That means that everybody understands what was talked about in the previous meeting, probably with the same people. Delay a meeting, postpone a meeting. If you second someone, well, it could be two things. You could be, if somebody is being nominated for a role, sometimes you need a seconder, a person to second them. You need a second person in order for your nomination to count. Or simply, "I second that," could mean "I agree." If the chairperson gives the floor to someone, you are given the opportunity to speak and take control of the meeting. Probably get up, maybe make a presentation. Power of attorney is when you allow a lawyer to act on the behalf of you, or a third party also. An amended idea has changed. Take the floor is speaking, addressing the crowd. If you change the day from Friday to Tuesday, from the 11th to the 8th, you are bringing it forward. Cancel and postpone. Cancel, it will never happen. Postpone, it happens at a later, different time. And to adjourn a meeting means that you put pause on a meeting, you come to an end, but generally, if it's adjourned, it means business is not quite finished. Okay, let's move on to looking at a meeting. You are going to view a little cartoon of a meeting, and while you listen, think of two questions. What proposal is being discussed? And is the general opinion for or against the proposal? Please listen.
Good morning, all. This is Daniel Goldman. As you all know, we're here to discuss the proposal put forward at the last meeting. So, where do you all stand on this?
Anthony Smart here. Well, I'm definitely all for it. In the long run, we'll be able to raise the capital that we desperately...
Good morning, all. This is Daniel Goldman. As you all know, we're here to discuss the proposal put forward at the last meeting. So, where do you all stand on this?
Anthony Smart here. Well, I'm definitely all for it. In the long run, we'll be able to raise the capital that we desperately need to expand the business into new markets.
Alex, would you like to share your views?
Yes, I have my reservations. My main concern is that by going public and expanding our business, we will lose our competitiveness.
What do you mean by that?
Well, we have a reputation for providing great customer service. Our customers keep coming back because of the human touch.
He may have a point there. If we ended up going for big profits, we'd have to sacrifice customer service, and then we'll be competing directly with the multinationals on their terms.
Not only that, we'd probably lose some of our existing customers, and since the market leaders are better established than we are, it will be tough to compete. We are likely to go out of business.
Oh, come off it. There's more to us than just customer service. Don't forget, we have negotiated exclusive distribution rights for several of our best-selling products.
That may well be true, Anthony, but the majority of our products are not unique.
He's absolutely right there. Susan, I know this isn't your area, but what's your take on this?
Well, I haven't given it too much thought, but I do have one question. Since analysts are likely to have the same concerns as we do, how do we intend to attract potential shareholders?
Okay, sorry for the technical glitch at the start there. I had to restart the video. And this is the end of the 15 minutes of the first video. So we'll answer these two questions in video 2.